The aftermath of toxic love. If you find yourself missing someone who deeply hurt you, understand this. That's not love. It's addiction. Yes, addiction. And no, it doesn't mean you're weak or lack self-respect. That's not the point. Like any addiction, it creates withdrawal. And what you're feeling right now is exactly that. Withdrawal symptoms. That's why they keep coming back to your mind. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you tried to erase the memories? The scent, the touch, the messages. How many times have you tried to forget and simply couldn't? Then comes the night. You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep, asking yourself, why can't I let go? Why is this person still in my head, even after everything they did to me? Today, you're going to understand why this happens, and how to start breaking this mental loop. Let's begin with something important. Ending a healthy relationship hurts. But ending a toxic one doesn't just hurt, it creates dependency. It's very similar to quitting a substance. Because, in a way, that relationship functioned like one. A toxic one. And that's why, even after it ends, the person stays in your mind. Without paying rent. As if it wasn't enough that they already turned your life upside down. Now everything seems to trigger a memory. You make coffee. You remember a fight. You hear a song. You remember those small moments of affection. And then comes the confusion. How can I miss someone who treated me so badly? To understand this, picture your relationship as a slot machine. You pull the lever and wait. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. One day, there's affection. The next, there's coldness. One moment, you feel loved. The next, rejected. What does this create? Uncertainty. And the human brain is wired to get hooked on uncertainty. That's exactly why casinos exist. You never know when the reward is coming, and that unpredictability keeps you engaged. Your relationship worked the same way. No matter what you did, it was never enough. If you tried too hard, it was wrong. If you didn't, it was also wrong. And every time you received a small amount of affection after emotional pain, your brain registered it as a reward. This creates a chemical response, just like gambling. So here's the truth. You're not addicted to the person. You're addicted to the pattern. Anxiety, reward, anxiety, reward. This loop creates emotional intensity. And intensity feels like love. But it's not. It's adrenaline. And adrenaline is addictive. That's why people chase extreme experiences. They get hooked on the feeling. Toxic relationships produce the same effect. Your brain starts associating love with chaos. Now, imagine your brain as a path. At first, it's just a dirt road. But the more you walk the same emotional cycle, fear, tension, relief, again and again, that path turns into a highway. Fast, automatic, deep. And then your brain learns something dangerous. That love and pain belong together. And here comes the biggest trap. When the relationship ends, your brain tries to protect you from the pain. So it edits the story. It hides the worst parts, softens the humiliation, downplays the emotional damage, and highlights the good moments. It adds color, warmth, nostalgia. This is what psychologists call rosy retrospection. You're not missing the real person. You're missing the version your brain edited. That's why when someone asks, "Did you forget what they did to you?" you hesitate, because your memory is no longer accurate. And then, without realizing, you start feeding the cycle again. You check their social media. You reread old messages. You look for signs they're still there. And every time you do this, you strengthen that mental pathway. So even though you say you want to move on, you keep revisiting your own pain. And healing won't happen while you keep exposing yourself to small doses of what hurt you. So, what's the way out? First step, no contact. Not as a game. Not as a strategy to get them back, but as a way to detox your mind. You stop checking, stop searching, stop feeding the loop. Block if necessary. Yes, but it's hard. Of course it is. But when you remove the stimulus, that mental highway starts to break down. And over time, it fades. Your brain lets go of what is no longer used, but that alone isn't enough. You need to create new experiences, even if you don't feel like it, because you don't erase the past by fighting it. You replace it by building something new. Change your routine. Go to new places. Take different paths. Learn something new. Build a life that no longer includes that dynamic. And most importantly, change your perspective. Stop telling yourself, "I lost the best years of my life." No, you gained awareness. You learned what you will never tolerate again. Turn pain into boundaries. Turn trauma into clarity. You don't need to forget. You need to break the pattern. And that takes emotional discipline. Yes, it will hurt, but it won't last forever. And when it passes, you'll see clearly. That wasn't love. It was dependency. It was addiction disguised as connection. Your brain is capable of change. It can build new paths. So allow yourself to experience something different. Allow yourself to experience peace.